Oh, good question. If I wrote a book on how to start a cult, the
Yeah.
first thing is you've got to be the cult leader. So every cult has a charismatic cult leader. There's a book called The Charisma Myth, which details that charisma comes down to three things. It comes down to warmth, presence, and power. Warmth is like how connecting you can be to another person, you're friendly and you make them feel good. Presence is that you're here in this very moment and you're not drifting away in thought. So I've maybe made a good impression with you guys because the moment I walked in, I've not been sat insecure thinking about something else. Maybe a year ago, I probably would have been. I would have come in here speaking to you guys and I would have had like a random insecure thought. I would have gotten a memory from high school. I would have had like reserved body language and you wouldn't have been able to connect with me as much. And then the final one, power, is like, what's your level of status? I've got a lot of clout. I'm fairly big. That always helps as well. If you're tall, if you look like a powerful man, if you've got some kind of status, recognition, fame, money, if you've got a cute girl on your arm, all of those things are power. So, for example, if I do a meetup with my boys, I already have the ultimate power there as the guy who's organized the meetup. I'll be present because it's an awesome moment for me. I meditate and stuff, and then I'll be warm because I'm nice to the boys. And then that makes me charismatic. So you've got to be charismatic. You don't have to be like, goofy, social or anything, but you've got to have at least some of these traits so that when people meet you, they really feel special. And it's like small, like manipulative things I do. So when I meet like a fan of mine, and let's say there's 50 guys, we're fist bumping as I'm leaving the venue. I don't like, quickly fist bump everyone and leave. I'll stare into the eyes of each person, like linger on for like a few seconds first, because they'll literally go home without really knowing it. But the feeling they'll go home with is Hamza made me feel special, which is powerful. So then when he sees a video from me and I say, okay, this is how you change your life. You meditate, you exercise, you stop being friends with those losers who keep disrespecting you. He's going to take that advice. And when he takes the advice and it works for him and he's like, oh yeah, like my life is actually better when I have respect for myself and I'm not hanging out with, my high school friends who mock me for going to the gym. And he sees that he's getting results from what I say, then he's going to keep following. And it's like I'm just basically funneling him down, trusting me, getting into self-improvement, getting to the point where he's become like a capable guy. He's learned how to make money. And then obviously, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a business as well. Then I have a paid program, which will basically help him even further than that. So the first big chapter is how to become charismatic. Then I'd say, okay, how do we leverage this on social media? Because you can do this in person, right? But it's like, how many people can you meet randomly in the street or in school? It's not enough. So you basically, in the modern day, you start a cult by posting onto social media and you speak with complete conviction for the advice that you're giving out. I've had so much criticism of people saying like, oh, Hamza acts like it's his way is or the highway. Like whatever he says is the truth, and he doesn't really take into account other things. Truthfully, I do. In my own time, I'll like disagree with myself all the time. I'm journaling, questioning things, I'm having conversations. But on camera to the boys, I'm not gonna tell them like, oh, meditation might help you. Imagine telling them like, here's something difficult and boring to do, and it might help you. Like that's what therapists say. Like, oh, therapy might help you. I'm not getting therapy if you're telling me it might help me. I'm going to tell you exercise will change your life. Now, is there a small percentage chance that it won't save someone's life? Like, yeah, sure. You could imagine with probability, like there's someone who exercise doesn't actually make them feel better. Why would I spend 30 seconds kind of disagreeing with myself? So when you speak with pure conviction, one of the interesting things is people are just looking to be led by a man who is certain. You'll see this, you'll pick up on this now for your viewers as well. Look out for the man who speaks with complete certainty and look at how captivated the people are. There's a guy I follow. He's like a fitness influencer. He's got like a fitness program, and he talks kind of like me. He shouts and says, "This workout routine will change your life," right? And I do this workout routine all the time, and I've almost learned from this guy because I'm like, I love the way he talks. He shouts at the camera. He's got like a subscription-based model, and he'll literally with Scouse accent, he'll look at the camera like, "Don't unsubscribe!" Like, don't you? Like he's shouting at anyone who's trying to churn out and everything. And I did the workout with my brother, his wife, and my girl. And I noticed that when he got into one of these rants, for the first time I was training with someone else, their level of captivation was insane. They didn't even look away from the screen. He had them in a trance. So that's what you need if you're trying to pop off on social media. This cute stuff of like, you can try this. I do this myself. It's not going to work. You tell people like, this is the plan. This is the plan that will change your life. Then I'll give you one more tip, which is to polarize, to say things that other people can disagree with. So you don't just want to stay in the safety. If I tell you nice things like meditation can change your life, exercise is good for you, it's boring. I tell you exercise is good for you, then I'll make fun of fat people. And I'll say, like, if you're a man and you're 25% body fat, it's a disgrace, and you're disgracing your bloodline. Because I'm being too extreme, right? If I meet a fat guy and he goes to the gym but he's fat, it's like, I'm not gonna say that to his face. I'll be like, yeah, you know, respect you, like you're doing something about it. But I'll get angry on camera because I know that it'll piss people off. And I have a phrase that I used for my Instagram recently, which is that I'll annoy someone and I'll throw in the grenade and lock the door. So what that means is, like, you upset someone by, you know, you're talking so extreme, polarizing, and I'll say one more thing that triggers them in the comments. Like, I'll reply to someone who said something mean to me in the comments, and I'll like look through his profile and you know, make fun of his girlfriend or something, and then I won't look back to the comments at all. And then, like, you know, 2 weeks later I'll see, and there's like 100 comment argument between my boys and him, and I'm just thinking, like, this guy's come back. He's now he's being racist. He's saying all these things. He doesn't realize he's just driven the algorithm for me.